Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our presentation on assessment of free risk capacity under liquidity consideration in international companies. I am Professor Dietmar ERNST and I am pleased to present this topic alongside my colleague Alicia SINSEL. Our research is part of the IBIMA 2025 conference, and today we will explore a critical aspect of corporate risk management, understanding and assessment. We will begin our presentation with an introduction to the concept of free risk capacity, explaining why it is essential for companies, especially in the context of liquidity management. We will then present our methodology, which is based on simulation-based planning. Next, we will discuss liquidity from two perspectives, narrow and broad liquidity, and demonstrate the practical application of our model using a case study. Finally, we will conclude. Free risk capacity is a fundamental concept for any company that wants to understand its tolerance for risk without jeopardizing its survival. Liquidity is a critical factor that directly impacts free risk capacity, influencing both solvency and financial stability. Our study introduces a model that assesses free risk capacity from a liquidity perspective, providing a robust framework for effective risk management. Free risk capacity represents the maximum amount of risk a company can bear without threatening its survival. Our model distinguishes between liquidity in a narrow sense, which focuses on direct cash and cash flow positions, and liquidity in a broad sense, which considers solvency and financial stability. This dual perspective ensures a comprehensive assessment of a company's risk tolerance. Our approach is based on simulation-based planning. That's the methodology we use. We use Monte Carlo simulation to aggregate risks and assess their impact on liquidity. This method allows us to account for both predictable and unpredictable factors, providing a realistic assessment of free risk capacity. Key financial metrics such as cash flow, equity, and risk coverage are integrated into our model. Liquidity can be assessed from two perspectives, in a narrow sense and in a broad sense. Both perspectives are essential for a complete understanding of a company's risk profile. Liquidity in a narrow sense, focusing on direct cash and cash flows, providing a clear view of a company's ability to meet short-term obligations. And in our case study, we use the net cash flow as a critical risk parameter. And once the net cash turns negative, it goes at the expenses of liquidity. And if the negative net cash flow has eaten up all liquidity in a broad sense considers the probability of insolvency and the company's overall solvency, providing a long-term perspective on financial stability. And that approach, liquidity in a broad sense, is very closely related with the rating of the company. And in that regard, it's a good add-on to the liquidity in a narrow sense, but the liquidity in a broad sense has a more long-term implication and perspective. So if a company To demonstrate our model, we conducted a case study on a pharmaceutical company. The results clearly show the differences between narrow and broad liquidity perspectives, highlighting the importance of using both for a comprehensive risk assessment. Our model provides a practical, scalable approach that can be applied to various industries. In conclusion, our simulation-based model offers a practical and accurate method for assessing free risk capacity. By integrating both narrow and broad liquidity perspectives, it provides a complete picture of a company's risk tolerance and financial resilience. This model is a valuable tool for executives, risk managers, and financial analysts. Thank you very much for your kind attention.